Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtottara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Mahārāja Śrīla Guru Dev ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtottara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Mahārāja ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtottara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtottara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Mahārāja ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtottara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishta Mahabhagavat Śrīla Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishta Shri Rupanu Gaurya Guru Varga ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtottara Shata Shishimar Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Tadiya Shubha Avirbhav Titi ki jai. Vyāsa-pūjā Mahotsav ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimar Bhakti Balabhatirtha Goswami Mahārāja ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimar Bhakti Dait Madhav Goswami Mahārāja ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimar Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Mahārāja ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtottara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Mahārāja ki jai. All the associates of Jagat Guru Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. And all the followers of those associates ki jai. Jai. Shri Baladev Vijabhushan Prabhu ki jai. Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai. Shri Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Trai ki jai. Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath. Shri Jeev Gopal Bhattadas Raghunath Shard Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandadi Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandal Gaura Mandal Braja Mandal Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradatta Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda ki jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Jai Shri Jai Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja's Vyāsa-pūjā Mahāmahotsav ki jai. Jai Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. All the devotees observing this festival of Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja's Vyāsa-pūjā ki jai. Jai. All the festivities going on all around the world today ki jai. Jai Śrīla Jai Shri, for those who are starting Chaturmasya Vrat today, Jai Shri Chaturmasya Vrat ki jai. Vrat Palan Kari Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Jai Shri Shayan Akarashi Titi ki jai. Titi Palan Kari Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishna Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, everybody. One second. Ramaṇi Mohan's just sending me messages. He says he's not able to get connected with the Zoom. That is because he's going to be our first speaker. Let me just message him really quick. That is strange. Once again, this Zoom, I sent him the Zoom link yesterday. He was here though. just before. He was in Gurudev's room, and then he was speaking, and this connection wasn't so good. All right. So I prepared a Mangala Charan that we can all recite together. He said that he tried clicking on the link many times and it's not letting him in. That's strange. But he was there before. But you were there before. Sorry. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen and we will do the Mangala Charan. I prepared the verses so that we can all recite them together. See, he says it got disconnected automatically. That is so strange. Okay. So here is the Mangala Charan. Hopefully Ramaṇi Mohan can get it working soon. All right. Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Now this is the pranam mantra of Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. So if you're, we could all recite this together. I mean, keep your mics off, but yeah, we could. What's the meter for this? Okay, got it. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Kripai Kavita Yamaryada Rakshati Vaishnavanam Kripavala Madhava Preshtakami Shri Bhaktidam Bharatim Ashrayama. So the translation is, I accept shelter at the lotus feet of the most revered Srimad Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja, who treasures the mercy of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as his exclusive wealth, who is the personification of following Vaishnava etiquette in its purest form, who considers the boundless mercy of Sri Srimad Bhakti Dait Madhav Goswami Maharaj as his life and soul, and always aspires to eternally remain his dearmost servitor. And then it says, in brackets, it says, his dearmost servitor, which means one who knows and fulfills the most cherished desires, the manobhishta of his beloved master, and who bestows Shri Bhakti, the topmost service to Srimati Radhika as her maidservant, to one and all without discrimination. Jai Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. And now we'll go through the pranam mantra of Śrīla Bhakti Dait Madhav Goswami Maharaj. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Rupanuga Priyaya Cha Srimate Bhakti Daita Madhav Swamin Namine Krishna Bhinna Prakasha Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Shama Guna Vataraya Gurave Prabhave Namaha. Satirtha Pratisadharma Guru Priti Pradarshine Isho Dhyana Prabhavasya Prakasha Kayate Namaha. Shri Kshetre Prabhupadasya Stanodhara Sukirtaye Saraswata Ganananda Samvardhanayate Namaha. I offer prostrated obeisances to Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Gosvāmī Mahārāja, the representative of Lord Vishnu, dear to the followers of Sri Rupa Goswami. Obeisances to you, O spiritual guide, non-different manifestation of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, Redeemer of the fallen souls, and personification of the quality of forgiveness. Obeisances to you, who, by rendering affectionate service to God brothers, exemplified your loving attachment to Guru, and who manifested the glory of Sri Ishodhyan at Sri Mayapur. I offer obeisances to you, who brought immense joy to those devoted to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada by recovering his birthplace in Puri, for which you are justly renowned. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Tividito Kodiya Gurvan Baye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Maya Bhārati Mingilo Daragatan Udrita Jiva Niman Krishna Prema Sudabdi Gahana Sukham Pradat Prabhung Tang Bhaje Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshaya Kshiptashtakama Ditaranga Madhe Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanaravindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Oh, great. Ramaṇi Mohan made it back. All right. That's a relief. All right. So Dandavat Pranams to everybody who's here. Ramaṇi Mohan Prabhu, Mañjulālī Didi. I'm just going in order that I see everybody here. So Sarveshwari Mataji, Ashray Prabhu, oh Chatamai Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. And Sri Devi Didi, Nari Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Mañjarī Didi, Sarveshwari Mataji, Champak Mataji. And let's see on YouTube and Facebook, Vidyalala Sadidi. And oh wow, a lot of people joined today. But I don't see anybody's name. If you don't write a comment, then I don't know who you are. But Dandavat Pranams to everybody on YouTube and Facebook. Hare Krishna. So today is a very special day. What is it? I remember Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. He would begin so many of his classes. Almost, it felt like every other day he'd start his class with Aj ek vishesh titi hai. And so many personalities that I never heard of, that like all these different associates of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, all that I've never heard of, and just so many personalities. He every single day, when their titi would come, he would give so much emphasis on their titis and say that if we don't honor these personalities on their titis, it's actually an aparad. And he emphasized this point so much, so strongly to whoever came in his presence, that it became a very strong habit. Like I think for anybody who's spent time with Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī, who's been to his classes, I think everybody now has a very strong cemented habit that okay, when this next day, all these many days in the year, everybody will now very nicely follows them. They pray to the personalities. They glorify these personalities. Or if even not that, at least they say jai to these personalities. So this is a very significant impact he made on so many devotees. I mean, this is just one thing, but this is one that keeps on coming over and over again throughout the whole year, something that made a significant change in the lives of so many devotees. So now this person who instilled this habit into all of us to glorify these personalities on their appearance days, we get to glorify him on his Vyāsa-pūjā day. After my Srila Gurudev entered Nitya Lila, it was a very difficult time for all my god brothers, my god sisters, all the Shiksha disciples and followers of my Srila Gurudev. But then we had some solace. Just after the disappearance day of Sri Guru, just after the disappearance of Sri Guru, initially everyone will be completely absorbed in deep remembrance and crying in separation from him. But then after some time, for those who are not so strong like myself, it's very easy to forget Sri Guru and become more and more weak. So at that time, Śrīla Bhāratī Maharaj so mercifully gave encouragement to so many of the followers of my Srila Gurudev. If you'd go to his classes and all over it, probably I'd say like 75% of the audience would be my god brothers and god sisters, I think. Like so he really gave so much shelter to so all the followers of my Gurudev. And what he did is he brought our attention back to our Srila Gurudev. That no, don't forget him. You must take his instructions and teachings very seriously. And yeah, he gave so much enthusiasm to become better disciples. And the extent, the way he was able to do this is not describable. It's only someone on that same level, like my Srila Gurudev, who can ignite such enthusiasm in devotees. Just like my Srila Gurudev did for so many disciples of Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In the same way, Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja, he really strengthens that connection that we had with our own Gurudev. And that is a real Shiksha Guru, is they strengthen our conviction, our determination, our nishta in our own Gurudev. And so there's so much to say about Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja, but that's all I'm going to say for now, because today we have a very wonderful lineup of speakers. First, our dear Ramaṇi Mohan Prabhu, Brahmacārī, he will glorify his Guru Maharaj. Yeah, Ramaṇi Mohan is a very dear friend, and it's very inspiring for me to see somebody like I remember when he was first getting introduced to this line of Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and then and he started coming to the mat and joined the mat, and then it was so inspiring to see somebody soon after joining shooting way beyond me in all different devotional aspects. Like he really just to see how he dedicated his life, and he's very fortunate to spend a lot of time with Shripad Madhav Priya Prabhu, and heard so much Harikatha from him. And now on this very busy day of his Guru Maharaj's Vyāsa-pūjā day, he very kindly took out time to glorify his Guru Maharaj in our program here. I'm sure there's probably a program going on right now that you're missing right now, so I won't take up any more time, but I'm going to hand it over to Ramaṇi Mohan Brahmacārī. All right, here, let me just, all right. Yes, you can start.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नामश्रेष्ठं मनुमत्तिरुचिपुत्रमत्र स्वरूपं स्वरूपं तस्य श्रीमाथुरी देशवासिं राधाकुण्डं गिरिवरमोहो राधिका माधवासं सप्तर्यस्य पतितकृपया श्रीरूपं नतस्मै। नमो विष्णुपादाय गुरुदेवाय प्रियत्मने भक्ति विज्ञान भारती तीराय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुणस्य कृपासिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्से नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते जगते संगतिपातंत राहकांत नमस्ते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विषभागे देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। सत्यवते श्री कृष्ण प्रभु श्री गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे। My name is Vishnu Pada State of Sri Gosvāmī Mahārāja and Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Mahārāja. And then to the middle of I'm paying my unlimited auditions, and I'm paying my auditions to all the devotees headed by Sripad Madhukar to present here. So first of all, I would like to beg forgiveness to all of you that I can make due to this internet issue. I know what's the problem. Actually, today is Jagannath Dev's Sunavesh. Am I audible clearly?
Yeah, the connection's not very good, but
Am I audible?
I think if you speak close into the microphone,
Okay,
also that
yes.
might be good.
Actually, I'm having this earpod. I think it might work. I don't know.
Okay.
So today is Jagannath Dev's Sunavesh, means Jagannath Dev, he returned from Gundicha temple to Jagannath temple 2 3 days back. So today will be the penultimate day. No, 2 days after today, on the he will be entering to his temple. That should be one of the like most so that's why this internet is having problem because of the jammer or whatever things the people they have did. So anyway, today another so special day. Like Madhukar Prabhu was mentioning, our Guru Maharaj, his most speciality was that he can say he produced, he enforced everyone within their head that you need to remember the Vaishnava, first of all, which is by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Without serving Vaishnava, Jai Jana Vaishnava Savitana, without the person who has not served Vaishnava, it's not possible that he can ever serve. Vaishnava are the doorstep, the via media from this material. That's why today is he, of course, and also today is Ekadasi Tithi. It's Sayan Ekadasi, Dev Sayan Ekadasi. Bhagavan, Lord Vishnu will take rest from today and will wake up on Ekadasi.
Ramaṇi Mohan?
There are 4 Ekadasis out of
Oh, sorry.
almost 24 Ekadasi we observe. Sorry, Prabhuji.
So I know the connection's very bad. It's very difficult to understand what you're saying. It's
Oh.
um you can continue on. So
actually, I'm right now I'm connected with the Wi-Fi, Prabhuji.
oh, okay. Okay, you can start over. I think it might be better now.
My video is good.
Maybe it's better actually. Let's see if you turn. You're just frozen, but maybe if you turn off your video, maybe the sound will be better.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
Okay. Hari Bol.
Haribol.
Seems good.
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. I'm so sorry again for the inconvenience. I don't know, it's due to my fault. Everyone is getting disturbed here. So today we are observing the appearance day of our beloved Guru Maharaj, Nityalila Pravish, Om Vishnupada Ashtoka Successful Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Is it fine?
Yes.
Okay. So, this was the speciality of our Guru Maharaj. He would always emphasize on giving respect, proper respect to the Vaishnavas. That's why it has never ever gone by the time I saw him that he had never released a single day, a single tithi without observing the Vaishnavas, without serving the Vaishnavas. Those who were present, those who were not present externally in this world. It was, Haribol. Haribol, Guruji.
Yes. Haribol.
I'm so sorry, Madhukar, if it's really getting disturbed, then I think you should continue your program. I can come later.
Okay, maybe what might be nice, we could do also, there's two options. Either you could record a video, like if your internet won't get better, then you can record a video and then we can play that tomorrow. Otherwise, otherwise, if your internet connection does get very good, then you could also come on again tomorrow and then make your glorification.
That will be fine. That will be fine. I'm completely agree with it. Because today I don't think the internet is going to get better because of the crowd which are gathered today in Jagannath Puri.
Oh my
because the
God!
government they have set up a jammer because to keep away the terrorists from this mass killing. So they have put a jammer which is now disconnecting all the internet in Jagannath Puri. So I'm very sorry. I feel extremely sorry. I've interrupted the program.
No worries at all. No worries.
To all the devotees.
Hare Krishna. I look forward to hearing your glorification later.
Of course. I love to.
Okay.
Great honor. Hare Krishna.
All right. So, Hare Krishna. Dandavats. Okay. So now, our lineup today first was going to be Ramaṇi Mohan Prabhu, but we'll hear his glorification later. But then the next two speakers one is Mañjulālī Didi and the other is Lavaṅga Didi. So Lavaṅga Didi, she isn't able to join at this time, and so she sent me a recording, and I made a slide for it, and then Mañjulālī Didi she's here with us. So Mañjulālī Didi, would you like to make your glorification now? If you want more time, then I can play Lavaṅga Didi.
I think it's okay. I think I prefer to start. I can do now.
Perfect. Okay, great. That's better. All right. So I'm giving this over to my god sister Mañjulālī Didi, who also had the fortune to hear lots of Harikatha from Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. And so I'll hand it over to you now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Jai. You can hear properly?
Perfect.
Okay. Omagyanatimirandasya jnananjana salakaya chakshurum militam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaye Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaye Namo Namaha. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In primer lugar, sorry, I'm speaking Spanish. So first of all, I just offer my obeisances to my beloved Srila Gurudev Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupa Astatra Shatra Shishima Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Gosvāmī Mahārāja. I'm praying for his causeless mercy. I also offer my obeisances to my beloved Shiksha Guru Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupa Astatra Shatra Shishima Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Also praying for his causeless mercy, and I offer my obeisances to all our Rupanua Guru Varga, praying for their causeless mercy, and I offer my obeisances to all Vaishnavas assembled today, also praying for your causeless mercy. Actually, I feel very fortunate that they give me the chance to do this small service for Maharaj. I remember every year we used to be there in Jagannath Puri for this day. Maharaj will do his very small Vyāsa-pūjā there. And I remember Malapriya Prabhu, just from some days before, he will, Maharaj will always give a class in the evening, and then always like 1 hour before, maybe 1 week before, 1 hour before, he will ask everyone to speak something about Maharaj. And I remember him saying many times, it's like speaking about the Vaishnava is a service. So everyone should do it. So for me, even though I have no qualification, but I have a desire that maybe I can try to serve such a great Vaishnava that means so much in my life. So I think we always hear like every single Vaishnava has a speciality, because even though all the Vaishnavas, they have everything in them, but every Vaishnava, they show some kind of speciality. So we know with Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Mahārāja, like it's very clear that speciality of service of Vaishnavas that actually comes from his Guru Maharaj, Śrīla Bhakti Gosvāmī Mahārāja. He has this very strong service, like he will put so much emphasis in service of Vaishnavas, and we can see how many of his god brothers, they came and take shelter in him, and he was opening, like many of them, they came in his mats, and because he has so much open hands, and I don't know, this tendency to serve in him was very amazing. And then his disciples, they all have this. It's like the son of a lion is a lion. So we can see in the life of Bhakti Vallabha Gosvāmī Mahārāja, in the life of Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja, they have so much this tendency of service. And for me, I was like, when I think in Maharaj, so many things come, but I felt like just focus in one and trying to see different aspects of this. So I think first we can consider why it's so important, this service of Vaishnavas, because I remember one time we went to see Maharaj, probably this was the last time, it was in Balaram Purnim, 2017. I think it was the last time we went, and he was actually speaking Harikatha. And then we were there, and then there was many questions, but most of them, like different kinds of questions. But Maharaj, to everyone, he was saying, just serve Vaishnavas, just serve Vaishnavas. It was, and then even Malapriya Prabhu, at one point he said, you can keep asking, but he will keep answering that you should serve Vaishnavas, because by this, everything is achieved. No? So we can contemplate, today I was contemplating this. We see in the life of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami is topmost Rupanuga. We are aspiring to become followers of Srila Rupa Goswami. And Srila Rupa Goswami is, he's like Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, he's like the ideal of how should be a follower of Srila Rupa Goswami, and all his life is full of teachings of, if we actually want to become followers of Rupa Goswami, he showed us so many teachings. And one of them that is very, very important is this pastime there in Panihati. He was trying so much to come to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but was not happening. Like even when he came to Mahaprabhu once, Mahaprabhu told him, you should go back to your home, you know. And then, so then even though he tried to escape so many times and tried so many things, but still he was not able to come to Mahaprabhu until when he heard this, that Nityananda Prabhu, he was in Panihati, then he went there to Panihati. And then he told him, you are a thief, because you are trying to steal the wealth of my heart. But then he said, I will chastise you. And what he told, you should serve Vaishnavas. And this is something very important, because Nityananda Prabhu, for one side, is Nityananda Prabhu. Below his mercy, we cannot get the mercy of Mahaprabhu. But for other side, Nityananda Prabhu is Akanda Guru Tattva. Guru Tattva is there. So actually, I remember this was in 2013. It was the first time that I actually have, probably it's the most beautiful remembrance I have from Maharaj. I needed to go out because I need to do my visa. And then I was in Jagannath Puri, and then I was going to Philippines, and the devotees asked me to bring some bags, like these japa bags, japa beads. But I couldn't find, in Puri it's not easy to find. So I was trying to find everywhere, but we couldn't find. I was with one devotee. And then, so one point we thought like, okay, let's go to Chaitanya Mat, maybe we can find there. And as soon as we came, Maharaj was sitting just there outside. And at that time, there were like very little people around, so we could come to him. So we came there, and then we just offered our obeisances. And Maharaj, he was like very kind. He was speaking many words in English and some words in Hindi, but we could understand what he was saying. And I remember at the time I asked Maharaj, I said, Maharaj, how can I make my relation with my Gurudev strong? How can I become close to my Gurudev? And I remember, even though, I don't know, I always feel like the words of Vaishnavas, like him, like Gurudev, like they're so strong. They make like very strong impression in the heart. I remember very strongly how he said, you should serve Vaishnavas, you should serve those who are dear to your Gurudev. So and that thing stayed there, and it still is now there. I hope one day I can fulfill that instruction, but at least I remember so much like this. He told like very, and I feel it's the same thing that here Nityananda Prabhu told, like to please him. He asked Raghunath Das Goswami, you should serve Vaishnavas, because by serving Vaishnava, Guru is pleased, and all our Guru Varga, they become pleased. And Maharaj, in his life, he showed this service mood towards Vaishnavas in so many ways. It's actually amazing. I just wanted to, maybe until, I don't know with the time, but we can just see some of them.
Now that okay. Ramaṇi Mohan's not speaking, you have all the time in the world.
Okay. So one thing there though is just very, very important, and I remember hearing this very much from Maharaj, like why we serve Vaishnavas. We serve Vaishnavas because this is the way to get their mercy. Maharaj say like kripa, actually you can go and say like, oh, give me mercy, but this is not the way. You say kripa, in the word kripa, the word kri means actually kriya. When we are serving, when we are doing the activity, like by serving the Vaishnava, the mercy is coming automatically. There is no need of saying, please, give me your mercy. Someone who is always serving without even asking, the Vaishnava is always giving so much blessing, so much mercy. And in relation to that, I remember when Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja, he will consider all these senior disciples of Prabhupada, like his Gurudev told him to see him as his gurus also. So he told like, I took different mantras from each one of them. And one of them, Śrīla Bhakti Rakshakshya Gosvāmī Mahārāja, he told him, you should always be in high class association. And then he thought like, how is this possible? He said, by serving them. And because when one serves someone and this Vaishnava is pleased, he will always want to keep you close, So then, but one thing there, I remember this also. One time we were there in Faridabad, and Maharaj was speaking about, it was that same day that he was telling everyone we should serve Vaishnavas to all the answers. Practically, like Maharaj, I have so much envy, just serve Vaishnavas. Maharaj, like everyone he was saying, just serve Vaishnavas. And then, so one thing I remember, he said, but how we should serve? Because actually also, the word service is something very specific. Like, and he mentioned like service should be affection. If there is not affection, this is not service really. And another thing is that the service should be pleasing to object of service. If I'm doing something that I like and I give it to someone else, that not necessarily like, this is not really service. Service is something that is considering the object of the service and actually pleasing the object of service, and that is done with affection. So then I remember I asked Maharaj, it's like, but I have no affection. You're saying like we should serve Vaishnavas with affection, but I have not that affection. So how can I serve Vaishnavas with affection? And then Maharaj says something very simple and like that gives hope. He said, just keep serving. He said, you just serve and serve and serve. And by serving, the affection will come. And then one day and then little by little, you also come to know the Vaishnava, no? And you can serve more. But so for us, actually, this is our life, just trying to serve and keep serving and keep serving. And one point that service will be actually service with affection, knowing the heart of the Vaishnava and actually pleasing the heart, because we know our path is descending, it's not ascending. We depend on mercy, even though we know that in this pastime of Mother Yashoda, there is these two fingers, this Chesta and Kripa. Our effort should be there, but our effort is actually just to call their mercy, because what qualification we have, what capacity we have, actually, we just like, the only thing that we are trying is like to do the best that we can, so then this can melt their hearts and then we can receive their mercy, you know? So we know in Madhurya Kadambini, when in the first shower, when Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he's speaking about the supremacy of bhakti, the first thing that he established very strongly is that bhakti is self-manifest. So there is nothing that make bhakti appear. Bhakti appears from bhakti. There is no other way that like bhakti cannot come from any other thing, like from jnana or karma or anything. Actually, the only thing that can bring bhakti is bhakti itself. And then Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur there, he explains very nicely how actually bhakti comes by the mercy of the Vaishnava. It's the Vaishnava, it's the bhakti that is in the heart of Vaishnava that is, we have devotion in our heart. We are all as living entities, eternal servants of the Lord. We have this, it's our inherent nature. But also this become like it's like a seed that needs to sprout and grow. And for that, you need the mercy of the Vaishnava. Without that, it's impossible. So that's why service of Vaishnavas is essential. No? Srila Rupa Goswami himself in Upadeshamrita, we see Upadeshamrita is like a sequence, how to say, like a step by step, all the things that we need to do if we want to achieve like topmost goal. But he ends in Radha Kunt in service of Srimati Radhika. So to come to there's so many things that we know. And then so first verse he's saying like all the things that are like first and second, no, things that are not favorable, and the third, like things that we need to have. But then he comes to Sadhu Sangha, the first verses 4, 5, and 6, very much related to, because for us it's very important to understand without mercy of Vaishnavas, in the spiritual life, actually nothing is possible, nothing. And the mercy of Vaishnava comes by service. So that's why like to give this importance to service of Vaishnavas is essential. And Maharaj was a personification of this. All his life, all his thoughts, everything he showed, it was always like pushing us towards that side. And this is something so beautiful, something that we can be grateful for life. You know, one thing is, we know like there is the Grantha Bhagavat and the Bhakta Bhagavat. In the scriptures, we hear so many things, and then there is so many descriptions, but it's so different when you can see it tangible, when you see someone who's establishing that, who's living from that. I remember there's an article of Śrīla Bhakti Śrīla Gosvāmī Mahārāja, he's speaking about faith, and he's saying how these Vaishnavas, they are like pillars, and then you can see it's an ideal that you can actually directly see it. So when we hear about service of Vaishnavas, we see so many things, but in him we saw it like a life, and it's a life of dedication in service of Vaishnavas. So I just like to just maybe just pick up some of the service he has done. He has done so many, but I think it's nice to hear the things that he was doing. So first, I think we can say a little about the service to his Gurudev. He served his Gurudev with his whole life. He actually gave his life to his Guru, and the quantity of responsibilities he took in their mats, in construction, in so many things, something amazing. But also, I remember there was a pastime that I heard many times, also in the Glorification to Maharaj. I think every year, at least someone will mention this pastime. There was one time they were here in Braj, and there was an exhibition that Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Maharaj was doing. And then he asked him to build 2 lines, so then the devotees, they can come and have darshan. But then Maharaj told him, no, I think it's better we do 3. And then Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Maharaj said, no, I think 2 is okay. But then Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Maharaj built 3. And then anyhow, after he built these 3, then when everything was there, and then all the Vaishnavas and the exhibition started and this, and then very like renowned Vaishnavas from other lines, or like some very respected people, they came. And then, so it was perfect, this 3rd line, because then they can go directly. They didn't need to wait, and they can give like some kind like a special space. So Bhaktivedanta Maharaj, then he was so pleased with him. He said like, oh, you thought it like so nicely, you know. So this is something like for us, for our level, we need to follow whatever Vaishnava says. But there is someone who is connection with Guru is so strong that he can even do something that it looks like it's not going, like it's not following what Guru is saying, but actually is wanted, like it's going to fulfill the real, what the actually Guru wants, you know. And this is actually our aspiration, that we can come to that point that service is not just like that we can know the heart of the Vaishnava, and we can act according to that. We can just, every thought, every activity, everything we do is just like always pleasing them, because we actually know what is there and what they want from us. No? And then also something that is, we can see in his life of service is his service of disciples to disciples of Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta. Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Gosvāmī Mahārāja gave him the instruction that he should serve his god brothers like he will serve, like in the same way that he will serve him. And Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja, he served them so much. So many of them, they have so much affection for him, because he will serve them so nicely that they wanted, like even they will ask to Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Mahārāja to send to him. No, he served so many, we know, like Bhakti Pramod Puri Gosvāmī Mahārāja, Bhakti Rakshakshir Gosvāmī Mahārāja, Bhakti Prayankesha Gosvāmī Mahārāja, Śrīla Bhakti Gaura Vaikanas Mahārāja, Śrīla Krishna Keshav Prabhu, Śrīla Akinchan Krishna Das, so many. There's like and he really served them with this mood, like they are like my gurus, you know, and serve them so nicely in such a way that he's actually pleasing them. So this is for us as an idea. One thing is like service to our own guru, glorification to our own guru, is in one way is kind of like natural, but like being able to serve all, even seeing the god brothers of your Gurudev and being able to honor them and serve them in such a way is actually for us very exemplary, and it's a very beautiful idea. And like I remember that instruction he taught is by serving the Vaishnavas is that we please Guru. Like in this way, he even pleased more his Gurudev. His Gurudev was so pleased with seeing how his god brothers were pleased with him, you know. So, and this is because for me, I hope I will never forget that instruction. If we actually want to become close to Guru, if we actually want to make our relation with Guru very strong, we need to serve those who are dear to Sri Guru, because by serving them, the doors to the heart of Sri Guru, they open. So we have chance there. So also we heard how he was very much engaged also in service of his own god brothers, no? In the different places where they were, like he will be always wanted to serve. I remember one time they were describing in his room, he will have in his bed in Puri, below his bed, he will have bottles, empty bottles, and like so many things he will have there. And then someone one time asked her, like, why you need to keep all those things? I say, because the devotees come here, and then I always want to have something to give them, you know, and then sometimes they don't have a bottle or they have, so he will keep in so many things because he wants to have like a chance to give something to even his own god brothers or any other Vaishnava that comes, so that they can, when they will come there to Puri. And we also know like how he served like Vaishnavas. There is that pastimes in relation with Gurudev. It's very sweet, actually. When one time they were in some program, I don't remember where, but then Srila Gurudev told him, I want to go to Jagannath Puri, but I don't have a place to stay. And then Maharaj said, don't worry, I will arrange it. And then so he left, because for the next day he had a train ticket, but he came one day before in general class just to come before. And he came and he emptied his room. He emptied fully his room, and then he make it like looking that it's not the room of anyone. And then when Gurudev came, he said like, please you stay here, because he thought like if I offer him my room, he will not accept, because Vaishnavas, they're all very humble, like they never want to give inconvenience to anyone. But he said if he doesn't realize it's my room, he will enter there, you know. So then he emptied the room, and then when Gurudev came, he stayed there. And I remember one time, I think it was Yamuna. She told to me that Gurudev said, no, that Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Mahārāja, one time in that room, he said, this room for me is worshipable, because my very, very dear Vaishnavas, they're here, you know. So this was his nature. He didn't care to go in general and have all the difficulty of empty the room, even if it's just like a few days, you know, but he wanted to serve the Vaishnava the best he could. So
and I think that program, sorry to interrupt. That program, I think there was like many Vaishnavas there, also like Śrīla Bhakti promoted Puri Gosvāmī Mahārāja, and like all these acharyas there. It's like a huge program. Is the opening, I think, of Śrīla Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Gosvāmī Mahārāja, if I remember correctly.
I think it was that, yeah. I think it, yeah.
Is it Visakhapatnam or something? But so leaving all that, all those festivals, like everything that was going on, and leaving all that one day early to, and going on general, like you said, it's just.
It's very amazing. It's actually, for me, I feel like when I hear these things, it's like, oh, I hope one life to just have this like naturally feeling inclined to serve Vaishnavas, naturally feeling inclined to want to please them, to serve them. And then I remember like one thing of his service that was very prominent, it was constructions of temples. I even remember maybe 2 years ago when we were there I was there in the temple of Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Mahārāja in Puri. And then Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Mahārāja, he was telling us in the temple, in the main temple, there is four pillars that are in the middle. And then I always wonder why they have 4 pillars in the middle. It sounds like literally like weird. But then he told us that one time when Maharaj came there, he said, oh, this construction can be not so strong, you know, because it's a big, long thing. And then so it's better you give a strong structure in the middle so they never fall down, you know. So I felt it so sweet, even though that construction was already there, but it also like something of him was also there. I remember also one time we went to this, I was with some, Ramaṇi Mohan Prabhu was there, and Navakishore Prabhu was also there. We were going to these different temples in Mayapur, and then they were asking about Maharaj and if he knew something. And I remember when we came to the temple of Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Mahārāja. So when this Vaishnava was there, and he said, oh yeah, your Guru Maharaj built this this temple, and he said, oh yeah, he was doing this. And so and so many, there is temples of like in so many different places, not only of his Guru Maharaj, but of many of the disciples of Prabhupada, many of the temples actually he was there building, and so much that even he like harmed himself with this cement, and like so many things happened, but still he was there like so much. And I remember one time hearing from Priya Prabhu, and the main reason it was because he wanted to serve Vaishnavas. What is the temple? The temple is the place where the Vaishnavas is staying. The temple is the place where there's a chance to serve the Harikatha, a chance to serve Vaishnavas. So he wanted to be able, like in one way, to serve Vaishnavas. So I feel like his life is everything around this point of like serving Vaishnavas. How can I serve them? How can I please them? You know? And another thing that you both mentioned, like Ramaṇi Mohan Prabhu and Madhukar Prabhu mentioned, that I actually want to mention because it's so important, this thing of the appearance day, of the disappearance day. But I think it's not just that he followed it, but I feel like he followed in such a way that really everyone that is in contact with him nowadays, they also follow these days, you know. And I remember he will say, like, even if you don't know about that personality and there is nothing, at least you can say the Jai Dwani for that personality. But you should never skip a day without like somehow glorifying or trying to serve that Vaishnava. And in his My Beloved Masters, at the beginning of in the introduction, there is one thing there, and I heard this from Maharaj many times. He will quote this verse when he will start glorifying a Vaishnava. Many times he quote this verse from Manashiksha that is saying, like, if this dog eater lady like that is dancing on the heart, like is fully shameless of the desire of recognition, no pratishtha. If he's dancing there is no way that prem can come in our heart. But he said, because actually to give up the desire of pratishtha is probably the most difficult. In one way, we come to this world, and the reason why we are bound is because we forget we are servant of Krishna, and we want to be served. We want to, they worship us, and we want to be the center. So to give up this desire of being worshipped, recognition, and it's very difficult. It's something that is so subtle. But Maharaj will many times say this verse and say how, and there is one line there, say, no, like while this prostitute of this, how you say, dog eater lady, that it's like the desire of pratishtha, if he's dancing in the heart, prem cannot come. But if you serve the army of the Lord, it means his Vaishnavas, by serving them is that this desire of pratishtha can go away. And Maharaj say this verse so many times. I remember like before, like, and then if one see there in My Beloved Master, they do one thing that is so beautiful and saying, because actually when we speak about the Vaishnava, when we hear about the Vaishnava, when we remember a Vaishnava, it's a service to the Vaishnava. No? Like, for example, right now, Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī, our Guru Varga, they are not present there. But by remembering them, by remembering their teaching, actually this can, for us, this is a service, it's a chance for us to serve them. And what if we can somehow please our Guru Varga by trying to remember, and not only remembering, trying to follow what they give us, so our life can become successful. No? So, and for me, I always like to think this verse of Manashiksha also, when Srila Raghunath Goswami, he's saying, if we want to reside, Yadichera Vasam Braja, like if we want to reside in Braj, and not only residing in Braj, but with Rag, no, means with Ragatmic Bhakti. In one point, we are Raganugas, but one point we need to have that spontaneous devotion. And birth after birth, we've been able to serve Radha Krishna directly. If this is our desire, then he said we should always remember and like and offer obeisances, no, in a special way to whom? To Srila Swarup Damodar, Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatan Goswami, and he says Saganam, and all their associates. So I think this is something very important. It's actually like just remembering our Guru Varga, like our Guru Dev or Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Mahārāja. It's not just a service. Actually, this is the doors that can bring us to Braj. Like Raghunath Das Goswami, he is saying, if you want to reside in Braj, birth after birth with Rag and serving directly Radha and Krishna, if this is your desire, then you should remember, no, and you should honor, like offer obeisances in the very special way to these great personalities, no. And by saying Saganam, no, Swarup Damodar, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Saganam means all our Guru Varga. So Maharaj gave us actually a very big gift, because by remembering these personalities and giving such a big, how you say, impression in our heart that we should remember them, that we should try to, like those days, contemplate about their life, contemplate, and not only that, trying to follow that. By doing this, no, if we actually do it in a proper way, this actually can open us the doors to Braj, you know, to the service of Radha Krishna. Is something actually so elevated. We don't realize, no, we do it just, okay, today is that. But if we can, like, see the jewel they are giving. Actually, the glories of Vaishnavas, the glories of our Guru Varga, their life, their teachings, they are jewels. This is our, like they say, no, this is our sampad, this is our wealth. So we are so fortunate that there's so many Vaishnavas, and so often we can see it and try to remember them and try to serve them and try to, and so I feel like this is a gift that Maharaj gave us that is, there's not even words to say how one day we will realize actually how valuable is this gift that he gave us to always remember the Vaishnavas in their appearance and disappearance day, and trying to somehow always remember about their life and their teachings, because this is actually our wealth, and our life is just to somehow try to by serving them achieve the service of Radha Krishna and Raj, that loving service of Srimati Radhika that Gurudev planted also in our heart. That was the speciality of our beloved Gurudev. But if we want that, we need to serve Vaishnavas. We need to, and then one way of serving Vaishnavas, it's also remembering them. It's also singing about their glories. It's also hearing about their glories. So I think, okay. So I remember also, just little few more things. So I remember one thing that also Maharaj, when the years, because when he was young, he was doing so much physical service and so much all kind of service. But when they doing human pastimes, no? So then he started becoming a little old. So for him actually to give prasad to devotees was very important after his Harikatha. And anyhow, all the time, when someone will come to visit him or anyone, he always wanted to give prasad to devotees, because he didn't feel like, oh, I'm giving mercy to them. He felt like, no, this is my chance to serve them. What to speak of serving his guru or his the god brothers of his Gurudev or his own god brothers. He wanted to serve everyone. Like any single person will come there, he will see them as a Vaishnava and he wants to serve them. I remember one time I heard this from Tapasri Maharaj. He was telling that they were there in the room and he said oh, bring me the sweets, I have a chance to serve. But he was not understanding, because these devotees who came, they were really new. They were just coming to spiritual life. And then he was but then after he understood, he wanted him to give him sweets so then he can serve, give them sweets so then he has a chance to serve these devotees, And this is very beautiful. Someone who is actually devotee, he feels always very low, and he sees everyone they are serving actually, and I'm not doing anything. We hear this in words, but we can see them in Vaishnavas. No, Maharaj, will not think, oh, this is junior, I should not do any service to this, or this is just starting now. No, he's I have a chance to serve, give me sweets, I want to serve these devotees, And for Maharaj, he can, even when he was very old and he was weak, his health was weak, but he wanted to be sitting there and give until the last one the sweets, and he will always wanted that they bring something that cannot, and sometimes he will be even 45 minutes just giving every single person, and he will be there, he will not allow them to take he will really wanted to. So this is something. And I remember I heard this from Narottam Prabhu, who was his servant. He told us when Maharaj was doing his after he was not able to do so many things, so then his service, and he also saw it as a service, was speaking Harikatha. And he thought when I will not be able to speak Harikatha anymore, I'm leaving this world. This is. And then so I remember that time when we were in Puri, and it was his last Vyāsa-pūjā that he was present there. And then there was a big festival that was arranged. It was happening in Gopinath Gaudiya Math, but actually was coordinated. At that time was Vamsi Vadam Prabhu, that now is Bodhai Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Bodhai Maharaj. He was coordinated from our mat, and then there was the building of Maharaj and Gaudiya, Gopinath Gaudiya Math. Between three of them, everything was organized. It was very sweet actually, because they would bring in buckets and things from the other mat and this and that. It was just very sweet to see how everything become one. And then we were expecting so many devotees to come, so there was many service. But then Maharaj, just the day before, he actually was feeling very sick. And then there was like we heard like maybe Maharaj will not be able to come out tomorrow because he was not well at all. So then the next day, I remember because we were there like trying to do whatever we could do. And then one point, I think it was Sundaragopal, I don't remember, someone come and say like, oh, Maharaj is not coming out today. And we were all like, oh no, but anyhow, we thought like so many Vaishnavas are coming, so let's try to do the best. But then so many Vaishnavas came, many even of his god brothers, like many Vaishnavas were there. And then I remember they told us that they were showing Maharaj, because there was like the temple room and all the Vaishnavas were there, and they were showing to Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Maharaj, like who was there and this everything. And then he told them, take me there. I want you to take me there. And they said like, but you are like, I say, no, I want to have the darshan of Vaishnavas. This is also service. To see a Vaishnava is actually a service also. I say like, so many Vaishnavas are there together. I want to go to be able to have their darshan. Please take me there, It's just actually so much heart melting. He was not feeling well and they were all coming for him, but he didn't thought in this, and he just, I want you to please take me there so then I can have darshan of Vaishnavas. And I remember also related to this in Navadip, I seen that, I remember 2015, I think. He will come out he will sit there when he was still in Chaitanya, he will sit in one of the, I don't know, sitting, some English words, I don't know, so to sit in branch, I don't know, whatever. And then he said, now I cannot go, I cannot do parikam, I cannot anything, but at least all those Vaishnavas who are doing parikam, at least I can have the darshan. So he will sit there for many hours, just seeing like who all the Vaishnavas are coming out and giving pranams. And for me, I just feel like it's even a way of seeing life. We're seeing things like, but he's seen like this is a chance to serve Vaishnava. This is a chance to serve a Vaishnava, And actually, this should be our life. The key of our life is actually to get the mercy of Vaishnavas, and that way of being that everything is just a trying of serving Vaishnavas is actually very inspiring. It's actually very beautiful. So just the last thing I will like to share is in that same year when we were there in Puri, I remember Maharaj, so when he came there, everyone was waiting, he will speak. So everyone was very excited. They thought like, oh, Maharaj will speak, that will be, and Maharaj was very weak. But then he was, I don't remember, I wish I brought the words, but it was really beautiful what he said. It was very touching, but just what I remember from there. He was saying like, you don't think that because I'm sitting in a high place, I am higher and you are lower. You say like, I am serving, like my service is to speak and your service is to hear. So don't see like and I felt like always this nature of him, like not seeing anyone like lower, but seeing everything just with the eyes of service and like a chance of serve. And this is for us as very strong teaching. I tend to see so much, oh, this is a senior, or this is a junior, or this is, but I wish actually that I can know, my eyes can only see seva everywhere. And if like I have the chance, because bhakti is seva. We know like this badge word is actually seva. And this is our life, the life like we are in a Śrīla Bhakti Śrīla Gosvāmī Mahārāja explained, we are in this platform when everything is enjoying, like exploitation. We are all trying to get things for our own enjoyment, for our own happiness. And then there is this other plane where it's like rejecting everything. But then we have the plane where it's dedication, service. And then this is what we need. We need that seva vritti, this tendency that naturally everything is a service. And for that, like surrender is so essential, and we can see in his life he was fully surrendered to his Gurudev, fully, and because without that surrender we cannot even speak about that, like this is the door to enter in that life. And then once you are there, everything, all activity, all thought, all everything, even the breath, everything is just a service. So remembering Maharaj is, I actually very, very thankful. I really have no qualification to say like anything, but I am so grateful to Maharaj for all his teachings, all everything he has given us. So at least I can try to share something and hoping that he can be pleased. Not that that in my life I can also like give my life for the service of Vaishnavas. Vanchakalpatarvishya kripa sindhu vyavacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo namo namaha.
Haribol. Thank you so much, Mañjulālī Didi. That was very, very nice. Just the last point that you were mentioning about yeah, I was just thinking it was Śrīla Bhakti Maharaj he didn't see any difference between like in the transcendental realm in Vaikuntha, we hear that there isn't anything that's considered higher or lower. Everything is on an, is all transcendental. Everything's topmost. Everything has their unique specialities, but there isn't like, good and then this is bad or like that. And so any service is like Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī, he had the topmost responsibility, like the biggest responsibilities of building temples. Like he built, so many of the Gaudiya mats on that Ishodhyan line, all the different mats everywhere. Like he'd be building the temples, and that's a huge responsibility. You're dealing with crores of rupees, and like what kind of bigger responsibility is there than that? But then for even though he was dealing with huge amounts of money, building these huge mats everywhere, and even the smallest thing was just as significant as building big temples. A 10 rupee donation that somebody gave would be equal to him. Then and there are many stories, many examples of I've heard quite a few of showing how he didn't see any difference between, this is small, this person's a junior, this person's, but everything was equally important. And so just an example, I remember Narottam Prabhu saying that there's he would wash Śrīla Bharatī's Mahārāja's clothes, and he would hang up the clothes and put the pins on the clothes, and then he would and then Śrīla Bharatī's Mahārāja, he once counted the pins to see, and before, I don't remember how many pins there were. There were, there were 15 pins before, but now there are 14 pins. Where did the missing pin go? There were 15 pins. Why are there 14 now? And like that was a big deal. And Narottam Prabhu was like, "Oh, Maharaj, it's not a, well, we can buy more pins. It's not a big." And he said, "No, these pins were either like they were bought with money that came from devotees for the service of Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas." And I forgot exactly how he said it, but it just the extreme care and love for any service, any endeavor that anybody made was the most sacred thing, and the most, and the way he with just how much love, anything connected to Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas, and inspiring. Anyway, sorry, I'm not speaking clearly, but I just I just, anyways, that's just something that came up in my head when you were mentioning about sorry, I wasn't able to express that clearly, but hopefully that made sense. All right, I'm going to move on now to this is the last part of this program, is Lavaṅga Mañjarī Didi. Her and her husband Ambarish Prabhu. I think everybody knows them here. They serve in so many ways, and she wasn't able to be here with us directly, but she sent us a recording, and I made a little slide to go along with the recording. I did it very quickly. Hopefully it works out. So I'm going to start that now. Anyways, let's just start. Another thought came to my head, but okay. So Yeah, this is a 25-minute glorification, and then after that, we'll end our program for today. Oh, wait, I need to share the sounds. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Okay, wait, I need to share and then share sounds there. Okay. Okay, now I can start.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Madhukar Prabhu, for this most wonderful and auspicious opportunity to glorify my Guru Maharaj, Param Pujapad Nityalila Pravishtom Vishnupad, Ashtottar Sachi Śrīmad Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Although I do not feel worthy of this opportunity, but taking the order of my dear God brother Madhukar Prabhu is also very senior to me. I will try to offer some Puṣpāñjalī in the lotus feet of my beloved Gurudev, and hope that the Vaishnavas will bless this endeavor. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī iti namine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Kripaika Vittaya Maryada Rakshati Vaishnavana Kripavalam Madhava Prishtakami Shri Bhakti Bhāratīm Ashrayama. Namam Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Vedanta Narayana iti namine Shri Krishna Leela Kathane Sudaksham Audarya Madhurya Gunesha Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tvam Shirsha Namami Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I offer my millions and millions of obeisances unto the lotus feet of my beloved Guru Maharaj, Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja, and to my beloved Shiksha Gurudev, the same millions and millions of Dandavad Pranams to Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, to my Param Gurudev, my Param Guru Maharaj, to Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and all of our Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga, to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Hare Krishna. So today is Shayan Ekadashi, and it is the appearance day of my beloved Guru Maharaj, Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. While trying to remember the glories of my Guru Maharaj, I think no one can escape remembering his special emphasis on Vaishnav Seva, and especially on remembering the Vaishnavas. I remember that whatever question one may ask him, somehow or the other it would come down to serving the Vaishnavas or pleasing the Vaishnavas. And while I will return to that subject, but one thing on the side I wanted to say is that any time that I would go with a question to Guru Maharaj, and I've heard this from many other devotees, he had a beautiful way of answering your questions in such a way that in the least of words, maybe in a couple of sentences, he would give you the deepest answer that kind of, it just applies forever. It is ever fresh. And also it's like a balm to your heart. You just feel so complete and satisfied with the answer. I remember, I'll just quote a couple of such questions that I had asked because it may help the devotees. We had shifted to Vrindavan earlier, before we took initiation from Srila Guru Maharaj. And that was on the order of another devotee. And when we came to Guru Maharaj, we were wondering what he would say, whether we should continue to stay in Vrindavan or whether not, because it's Dham and we don't want to commit offenses by staying here, by our own wish. So we asked him, what should we do? Should we shift back to Bombay from where we came, or should we continue to stay here? And Guru Maharaj just said in 3 words, he said, stay where there is Sangha. That's 4 words. Anyway, stay where there is Sangha. That's it. And that was so powerful that it is till date we always follow this. Like if we ever think of, okay, where should we stay, whether it's in the future, whatever, stay where there is Sangha. It has helped so many devotees to be very clear about, because really, at my level, I'm the dham, as Srila Gurudev would say, I'm just staying on the outer covering of the dham and not really contacting the real dham because of all my offenses and anarthas. So, but when Guru Maharaj said that, it made it very clear for us to apply this in any situation. And that was one question. There was another, but I'll come back to it as we speak. So going back to the Vaishnava Seva, I feel that, with every generation of Vaishnavas that comes, like there was Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur's generation, there was Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada's generation, then there was Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada's generation, then Srila Gurudev's generation, then my Guru Maharaj's generation. And I feel with every generation, as it is, evident to all of us, that the level of purity among general society has decreased, right? And so the acharyas try to make it easier and easier and easier for us to somehow or the other come up in bhakti. It's like swimming upstream. So when after Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev, when my Guru Maharaj came, he stressed so much on Vaishnava Seva, and especially on remembering the Vaishnavas on their tithis. I didn't really think much of it when I came to him in the beginning. In fact, there was one incident when I was sitting in his class. I was attending in Puri in January 2017, and we were staying there for a month. And there are many tithis in January in Magh Mas. Just before that, Jan Feb. So there were many tithis, and every day, whenever the tithi would come, my Guru Maharaj would say the same thing. The Avirbhav and Tirobhav tithis of Vaishnavas are auspicious, we must remember them, and like that. And so after 2, 3, 4 tithis went, I was sitting one day in his class and he was saying that, and I was sitting there and my mind was kind of wandering off, thinking that, okay, I know what he's saying, and I'll kind of switch back when he actually starts speaking the katha of the day. And as my mind was wandering off like that, he said, many of you must be thinking that he repeats this every day, and what's the use of hearing this? It's okay. But how many of you are actually practicing this? How many of you are actually taking this seriously? That when a tithi comes, then you very prayerfully sit and remember that Vaishnava, pray to that Vaishnava, remember all of the glories of that Vaishnava. And it just made me sit up in attention, and I was thinking, wow, here I am thinking that yes, I know this, but there's a difference between knowledge and realization, and I've surely not come close to realizing it. So that was a very important moment for me, because it kind of made me sit up and take note that although I may feel that yes, I know what he's saying, but I really haven't understood the depth of the necessity of this actually. And even now, every time that I think about it, it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper. What he gave, he made it so much easier. So I was saying that in every generation, there's a general loss of purity, and he made it so much easier to just uplift ourselves. When we hear the glories of the Vaishnavas in the Shastras, then it really highlights what he gave and how easy he made it. He said, he would always say that if it's a Vaishnava's appearance or disappearance day, and you don't know anything about the Vaishnava, at least take his name and say Jai, because that will be equivalent to serving that Vaishnava. And this is such a big thing. It's such a big statement, because in our scriptures we've seen so often that in Narottam Das Thakur says in Prarthana, "E baro karuna karo Vaishnava Gosai, patita pavan tomak bina keho nai." There's no one as merciful as you. And just by taking your darshan, Gangara Parasha, you need to go and bathe in the Ganga to get purified of your sins. But just by the sight of a Vaishnava, fallen souls are purified. This is how powerful they are. And that Tomara Hriday Sada Govinda Vishram, that in your heart, it's the resting place of Govinda. Govinda, for Krishna, he says that Vaishnavas are my heart, they are my heart and soul. How glorious is it to serve the Vaishnavas? Like once I heard this example and stuck with me, of a lady and her son. So if there's a lady and you're taking good care of her, you gave her a great seat to sit on, you're speaking sweet words, giving her so many gifts, and her son is nearby and you're entirely neglecting her son. What to speak of neglect? You're hitting the son or speaking rudely with him. Then will the lady be happy with all the gifts that you're giving her and all the good respect and the treatment that you're giving her? She will hate you for it, because you're speaking so badly with her son. But on the other hand, if you don't do anything to the lady, you don't even look in her direction, you don't even know that she's there, but you're very sweet to the son, you spoke some sweet words, you helped the son, you gave something, then how much the lady will be touched. She'll be indebted to you, she'll be grateful to you. And this is how Krishna sees his devotees, that he's just grateful and so happy when someone serves and respects his devotees. So Guru Maharaj would always quote this verse very, very often, Pratishtasha Drishta Swapacha Ramaṇi Meridi Natit, from the 7th verse of Manashiksha. In that verse it is mentioned that Sadatvam Sevasva Prabhudaita Samanta Matulam. He would mention this so often. And what is this verse? This verse actually has two extremes in it. We all know that among all the Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Matsarya, everything, it is the most difficult to give up Pratishtha. Like Srila Gurudev often says in his classes, and all of our acharyas say, it is easy to take the renounced order. It is very easy to give up your home, your attachments to your family, even to give up attachment to money for that matter. And what to speak of the opposite sex, that's all quite easy. But Pratishtha, the desire for fame, it's very, very difficult to give that up. And in fact, Srila Gurudev goes on to say, for the 3 types of devotees, Swanishthit, Parinishthit and Nirapeksha, how at every level even they still have this desire for being recognized. At the first stage of Swanishthit Sadhak, we have the desire to recognize that we are so much above the all sins, and we are so virtuous, and we are so good. Parinishthit sadhaks will have this ego, or they want to be noticed as a good devotee, and that they have a clear understanding of the tattva, and they do not wish for any sense gratification. So, but yet they want to be recognized as this. A Nirapeksh sadhak will want to be recognized as someone who is very renounced and who is very, very fluid in the understanding of the scriptures, and how he's a very high level exalted devotee. That desire for prestige still remains in the heart. And this is something that unless this goes, pure Krishna Prem can never come. So now imagine, this verse is saying that desire, that pratishtha, that asha, the hope for that pratishtha, what will help us to overcome that? Prabhu Daita Atula Samantam, the incomparable the commanders of the army of Lord Krishna. Prabhu Daita means those who are very, very close to Krishna, means his dear devotees, his pure devotees, our Guru Varga. And this verse gives you the extreme of what is most difficult to give up, and the means which is actually the easiest means, which is to take shelter of the incomparable commanders of Lord Krishna's army, which is our Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga. And so, and this verse would be so often quoted by my Guru Maharaj. And the more I think about it, I feel like this is like the most condensed essence of our practice, spiritual practice, to very quickly reach that goal. Because when we do sincerely read the glorifications or discuss or speak or hear glorifications of Vaishnavas on their tithis and pray to them for their mercy, it is extremely purifying. And each time I read about even the same Vaishnava year on year from my beloved masters, or hear about their glories, each time something new comes up and it touches the heart, and it's like a new realization or a new earnestness to imbibe that quality of the Vaishnava. And it's really so purifying, it's so beautiful, and it's so easy. As I said, they make it easier for us. So this verse, that taking shelter of these powerful commanders of Krishna's army, my Param Guru Maharaj would say that if I had this choice to serve Vaishnavas and Vishnu, then I would without a thought first serve the Vaishnavas. Even in the Padma Purana it's mentioned, the same thing is mentioned, that superior to the worship of Vishnu is worship of his devotees. And we also know about Bhakta Pada Dhuli in Antya Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's mentioned Bhakta Pada Dhuli, Bhakta Pada Jal, Bhakta Pada Avashesha, Teen Mahabal. Mahabal, my Guru Maharaj would say, it's Mahabal, very, very powerful. So again, here it's mentioned that you can very easily attain the love for Krishna by honoring these three remnants of the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees, the water that washes their feet, and the remnants of what they have honored, the prasad that they've honored. So how glorious is this? And what did Guru Maharaj do? Guru Maharaj just gave this to us. He made it so important for us to remember the tithis. And how easy is it? How much time does it take to remember the Vaishnava? If you don't know anything, then just saying Jai takes a second. But if you know something, then maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes to read the article, or half an hour to hear his glories. And what have we attained in that? We have attained drop by drop. We are coming closer to attaining Krishna Prem. The scriptures are telling us this, so we need to have full faith in that. And another thing is that it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that Durapa ya alpa tapasa, alpa tapasa. Alpa tapasa means those who have very less austerity and pious credits. For them, it is extremely difficult to obtain the service of the devotees of the Lord. But what did my Guru Maharaj say? That only if you say Jai, you obtain the service of these devotees. And these are very pure devotees. They are very dear to the Lord. So how easy has he made it? Even if we have no pious credits, even if we have done no austerity, if we only say Jai, for that devotee, for their appearance day or disappearance day, then we have obtained the result of serving that Vaishnava. So I feel that this contribution of his was so very deep that, as I said, every year it just keeps going in more and more and more. So that was the main thing that I wanted to say. I want to keep it short, but I really hope that as I pray each year and every day, that if I am a true disciple of my Guru Maharaj, then I would reflect his qualities. And my prayer on this day to all of you Vaishnavas and to everyone is that one day I may be known as a disciple a true disciple, a daughter of my Guru Maharaj, if I have even a tinge of the spirit to serve the Vaishnavas, to honor the Vaishnavas, to follow the immaculate precept of Vaishnava etiquette that he showed, so much respect for all Vaishnavas. Never ever did he, I mean, I don't remember a single instance of Guru Maharaj having crossed this etiquette. Once there was one devotee who was making a lot of problems, for others, and it was getting too bad. So some people went and complained to Guru Maharaj, and the devotee was present around in the building. And we thought that Guru Maharaj would call that devotee and, say some things to make that devotee understand. But instead he just kept quiet, and I was like, how can that be? Like, isn't he going to do anything about it? I was waiting, and he just kept quiet. We all left the room, and it so happened that the devotee just changed after that. I don't know if she came to know, or it was just Guru Maharaj's silent prayer that let me not hurt this devotee, but at the same time let there be some change. But after that the devotee changed, and we did not face the kind of issues that the Sangha was facing with that devotee. So there was so many such instances where Guru Maharaj just showed that we can very easily handle many conflicting situations without having to hurt the other Vaishnava, or without having to, while giving the Vaishnava etiquette the highest precedence. Many times we end up giving what is right a higher precedence than keeping the heart of the Vaishnava, or seeing the overall benefit of the seva. And I remember once I was sitting in a darshan. I was just sitting on the corner, and one devotee, a senior devotee, asked Guru Maharaj, when will sense gratification, desire for sense gratification go? And Guru Maharaj just smiled at him and said, Baba, it will take lifetimes. It takes lifetimes of bhakti for this desire of sense gratification to go. And such a sweet smile, he said, just use your intelligence and don't engage in this lifetime. And then eventually, when you become more and more purified, the desire for sense gratification itself will go. And as he said that, I realized so many things were embedded in that, One is that we must appreciate and accept our own adhikar as well as the adhikar of others. And also, my Param Guru Maharaj was told this thing by Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, that cha va tu, that all of Guru Seva considered to be your own responsibility, and anyone who helps you in this in this seva, you should be grateful to them. So these two principles have helped me so much in my sevas, whatever little sevas that I am doing, when I have to interact with devotees, and when you have to manage sevas and you have to manage many devotees, then there are always going to be circumstances where someone hasn't done something that they were going to say, or someone speaks something rude or does something wrong, or whatever it is. And and we have to remember that Vaishnavata is above everything else, and somehow Guru Maharaj helps in each of those situations to to show a way out. Anyhow, so I'm going to keep it short. I pray that someday I will show some of these qualities, even a speck of these qualities. That's my biggest prayer to the feet of all the Vaishnavas today, to the feet of my beloved Gurudev. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo Cha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. So that is our program for today. I thought it was very neat how Lavaṅga Mañjarī and Lavaṅga Mañjarī Didi and Mañjulālī Didi spoke many of the same points about Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. It just shows how he really embodied these qualities, how even the same verses and all the same points. Yeah, I thought that was really nice. Okay, so Sarveshwari Mataji is asking, can I send the link where there's going to be live Vyāsa-pūjā of Śrīla Bhāratī Mahārāja? I'm not sure if anybody's recording it live. I just didn't hear anything. I'm not joining the program in Mayapur today, but I'm going to be joining tomorrow. So maybe tomorrow I can go live, but today I don't know what's happening. But yeah, there's still so much more. Like Ramaṇi Mohan Prabhu is going to share his offering. I think he's going to make a pre-recorded video, and yeah, I'd like, one day is not enough, and so I think we'll have another program tomorrow. I'll have to keep it short tomorrow because I need to go for the program. I'm going to spend the night in Mayapur tonight, and so that I'm there, and then right after we end this program here, I'm going to run over to the program there. Today the program starts at 9, and tomorrow the program starts at 10. So I think I'd actually probably have a normal, regular program, 1.5 hours, I think, tomorrow. So I hope you can all join for that. Maybe we should end with a kirtan. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. I guess we can sing Shri Guru Charana Padma. And then I'll end with Mahamantra, and that will be a program for today. Oh, and if there's anybody would like to glorify Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja tomorrow, send me a message, and I will, and then when I find out how many people want to glorify him, then I can figure out how much time everybody has, and we can do that. I arranged this all very last minute, as usual. All right, so, oops. 1 second, let me just open up Shri Guru Charana Padma. Okay, just getting my Mridanga. And all right, let's begin. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sarma. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sarma. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sarma. Vando moi savadhana mate. Vando moi savadhana mate. Jahara prasare bhai e bhava tariya jai. Jahara prasare bhai e bhava tariya jai. Krishna prapti hoy jahan hoite. Krishna prapti hoy jahan hoite. Guru mukha parma vakya chite te koriya aikya. Guru mukha parma চিতে তে করিয়া আজ্ঞা আর না করিহ মনে আশা আর না করিহ মনে আশা শ্রী গুরু চরণে রতি এসে উত্তম গতি শ্রী গুরু চরণে রতি এসে উত্তম গতি যে প্রসারে পুরে সর্ব আশা যে প্রসারে পুরে সর্ব আশা চক্ষুদান দিলা যে জন্মে জন্মে প্রভু সে চক্ষুদান দিলা যে জন্মে জন্মে প্রভু সে দিব্য জ্ঞান হৃদয় প্রকাশিত দিব্য জ্ঞান হৃদয় প্রকাশিত ও প্রেম ভক্তি যাহা হইতে অবিদ্যা বিনাশ যাতে প্রেম ভক্তি যাহা হইতে অবিদ্যা বিনাশ যাতে বেদে গায় যাহার চরিত বেদে গায় যাহার চরিত শ্রী গুরু করুণা সিন্ধু অধম জনার বন্ধু শ্রী গুরু করুণা সিন্ধু অধম জনার বন্ধু লোকনাথ লোকের জীবন লোকনাথ লোকের জীবন হা হা প্রভু কর দয়া দেহ মোরে পদ ছায়া হা হা প্রভু কর দয়া দেহ মোরে পদ ছায়া তুয়া পরে লইনু শরণ তুয়া পরে লইনু শরণ হয়ে বেজাস কুক সুখ ত্রিভুবন বেজাস কুক সুখ ত্রিভুবন হা 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 প্রভু করো দয়া দেহ মোরে পদ ছায়া হা হা প্রভু করো দয়া দেহ মোরে পদ ছায়া তুয়া পরে লইনু শরণ তুয়া পরে লইনু শরণ হয়ে বেজাস কুক সুখ ত্রিভুবন বেজাস কুক সুখ ত্রিভুবন জয় গুরুদেব 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 জয় গুরুদেব জয় গুরুদেব 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 জয় গুরুদেব হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে জয় ভক্তি বিজ্ঞান শিলা ভারতী গোস্বামী ভক্তি বিজ্ঞান শিলা ভারতী গোস্বামী জয় ভক্তি বিজ্ঞান শিলা ভারতী গোস্বামী ভক্তি বিজ্ঞান ভারতী গোস্বামী জয় স্বপর্শর শিলা প্রভুপাদ স্বপর্শর শিলা প্রভুপাদ জয় স্বপর্শর প্রভুপাদ স্বপর্শর প্রভু ভক্তি সিদ্ধান্ত সরস্বতী প্রভুপাদ ভক্তি সিদ্ধান্ত সরস্বতী প্রভুপাদ জয় ভক্তি সিদ্ধান্ত সরস্বতী প্রভুপাদ ভক্তি সিদ্ধান্ত নিতাই গৌর হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল গৌর হরি বল নিতাই গৌর হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল হরি Jai, Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari, Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupar, Ashatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta, Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shila Gurudev ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupar, Ashatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupar, Ashatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shutarashata Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shutarashata Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Srila Gaur Kishoras Babaji Maharaj ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishta Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai. Jai Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimar Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Śrīla Bhakti Ballabhatirtha Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimar Bhakti Dayit Madhav Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimar Bhakti Pramod Puri Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimar Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai. All the associates of Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, all of their disciples and grand-disciples and great-grand-disciples and all the followers of all the associates of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Shara Goswami Prabhu ki Jai, Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki Jai, Namachay Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Kshetra Mandala Gora Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki Jai, Sarva Abhishta Pradatta Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda ki Jai, Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Devi ki Jai, Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki Jai, Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai, Jai Shri Shayan Akadashi Titi ki Jai, the first day of Chaturmasya Vrat ki Jai, for those who are beginning on Akadashi. Jai Shri Jai Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja's Vyāsa-pūjā Mahotsav ki Jai, and Jai to all the devotees who are following it all over the world ki Jai. Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Samagata Gaura Bhakta Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra Ju ki Jai. Today's the day of Sonavesh, right? So Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra Ju ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shinitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Vancha Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavascha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mañjulālī Didi, Mañjarī Didi, Sarveshwari Mataji, Sri Devi Didi, Nitai Mukesh Ji, Indira Mataji, and let's see on YouTube and Facebook who's all there. Vidyalala Sadidi, Raise Again, Pradyumna Prabhu, Mantaramurti Mataji, and I see many other devotees there. Dandavat pranams. Pranams to all the devotees watching in the future. And yeah, thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna. So tomorrow we will resume our glorifications of Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Today we didn't have a time limit, but tomorrow we'll try to keep it under an hour and a half. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe, Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Also remember, if anybody wants to glorify Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja tomorrow, please send me a message and I will give you a chance. I'll give you a slot to speak about it. All right. Hare Krishna.